and welcome to the Third Sector. I'm your host, Tamara Brinkman. In our society, there are three sectors: the public, the private, and the nonprofit. And it's that third sector that we are here to talk about today. Joining me on today's episode are Pavel, as we all know, with Amigos, and Kim English from Every Child Can Read. Joining us first is Kim English. She is the executive director of the nonprofit Every Child Can Read. Kim, thank you and welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me.
Well, we're so happy that you agreed to come on and tell us all things great about Every Child Can Read.
I'll do my best.
Oh, well, I know you'll do great. Start us off by just giving us the history. When did the nonprofit start, and how have you gotten to where you are today?
Sure, we'll just do a little timeline.
Perfect.
Bad news, good news kind of thing. The bad news was in 2006, Richmond High School was labeled a dropout factory. Well, that's just not acceptable. So in 2007, Richmond businessmen and community leaders Rick A. House and Vic Josie created the third grade reading academy called TGA. And that was in a response to this Johns Hopkins University study. So, I mean, it was a legitimate study. It was national. And you didn't want to be on that list.
No.
So they started the third grade academy. 2008 was the first academy. 2009, Every Child Can Read became a 501c3 nonprofit of their own. So that's an umbrella for the third grade academy. Then they added in 2012 K-Ready. So K-Ready was introduced to put books in the hands of children 0 to 8 or 9 years old. So, and mainly preschool children. So then we had our pandemic in 2020, and we were afraid we weren't going to be able to have our third grade academy. And because of Ashley Gerard, a fabulous director that will not take no for an answer, we had TGA to go. So we had a group of 8 teachers. They went to children's homes. They had class on the front porch, and Reed Hospital, Reed Health. They were wonderful. They provided frozen meals for us to provide to these families and these children. And then now in 2021, we were able to have what we have rebranded a little bit called the Reading Academy, and it's TRA now. And so we are evolving and transitioning, but that's where we are today. And we hope to be able to have our TRA at IU East this summer.
Oh, that's very exciting. You guys have really responded to the needs of the community as that has changed and evolved, certainly over the years since you guys got started. And definitely answering a need that is a big calling. For a side note, where's Richmond? Do we know how Richmond looks as far as the dropout schools?
The graduation rate. Yeah. I don't know specifically. I do know it's much improved.
Yeah.
If I'm not mistaken, I think it's in the 90% group. So they've done well also.
Got it. That's good to know. Good to know. Tell us a little bit about the mission and the vision of the organization.
Well, in the last year, of course, everybody pretty much reflects, and we've been evaluating who we are and what we do. And we do very much try to see the need and provide for a need. So what our underlying mission, we believe that opening a world of opportunities by growing a love of reading in young readers is the greatest thing that we can give to a student and a little person. Because it just opens a whole world for them on every level.
Kim, can you talk just a little bit about the K-Ready and the books, giving books, but 0 to sort of 8, but really focusing on the preschool, the pre-K level? Why is it so important to really target and get kids reading by that point in life?
Right. This is tried and true. It's not something that we have made up or we think is right. It has been proven that reading at grade level by 3rd grade is a predictor of how someone is going to be able to succeed in their lifetime. 2, after that, the chance to catch up, to be able to learn to read is very slim after 3rd grade. And then the link to negative social issues and hopelessness is not being able to read and not being able to succeed like that. So all of our children deserve the right to be able to have that success and to have that foundation. Mm-hmm. Now, our little kids are 0 to, we are the affiliate for Dolly Parton Imagination Library, and children born at Reed Health are enrolled, who live in Wayne County, are enrolled in that program. And we have to get books in the hands of children for their brain development. You have to have those books in their hands from birth. Now, if you're a family and you're struggling, books probably are not in your budget. So that's why that preschool age is so important. We've got to get books in the hands of these kids.
So with that, if you are a family and you are struggling, but you do want to make sure that your child succeeds in their education, is there something parents can do? Is there a way they can connect with you to help bridge that availability of maybe a book or 2 for their child?
Absolutely. The website, there's a way to just send us a message, which is fine, or you can always give us a call. Now, you'll probably need to leave us a message just because of the way things are now. We don't have a plain old regular office anymore. So, but if you leave me a message, I will get back to you. Also, teachers, helpers, like our early Head Start program people are aware that we're here to try to do that. And I love nothing more than to get that message. Oh, we have a new family that, could maybe use your services. So obviously get a hold of me and we'll make that happen.
That's great news. While you were talking about all that and sharing that information with our viewers, we were putting on the screen, although you can't see it as we record the show, your website information, your phone number information. So for our viewers out there, if you know somebody, connect them. Like Kim said, most of all the teachers and support staff in the schools, even county-wide, are very aware of Every Child Can Read and Kim's fine work and her team, and so definitely opportunities to connect with them in that way if you're looking to get some access to some reading materials for your family. So as we look forward, what sort of, we are in a challenging time, so looking at a year out could seem like maybe 10 years at this point. But what are some of the goals, or what are you guys looking for, about in the next year for the organization?
Absolutely. Well, again, we look for a need, and the main thing for us is to meet these children where they are. It's just very difficult to be able to bring a child to you. We just need to meet them where they are. Learning loss is real. We all wish it didn't exist, but it does. So to be able to bridge that gap, and it's not going to happen overnight, but we are collaborating with Boys and Girls Club, and in their tutoring program, we hope to launch that right after the kids go back to school in January. So mid-January. The idea basically is these children need the Reading Academy, not just the month of June. They need that reading support throughout their school year. So we decided we don't have the resources to go to every school, and then the resources to get these children home. But if they go to the Boys Club, Girls Club,
right,
that's already taken care of.
Right.
So we will meet them there at different facilities. They'll basically have their Reading Academy once or twice a week. And it will be with a teacher, a highly qualified teacher. We always have highly qualified teachers, and no more than a 5-to-1 ratio, student-teacher ratio. So that to us is key to making this work. We don't have a lot of time, so we have to be intense in what we do. So that 5-to-1 ratio helps that a lot. So we're very, very excited about that new program.
That's exciting. We're excited to hear about that. That's a great opportunity for families to connect with the Boys and Girls Club. They provide a lot of opportunities for students. Scholarships are available for those that maybe are challenged financially, so they can get access to both Boys and Girls Club. And then through that, every child can read, and your great work. Kim, as we are getting ready to wrap up here with about a last minute or so, how do you guys how do you fund what you do?
Well, any way we possibly can. We work all through the public, the private, the corporate, and grants.
Okay.
Grants are fairly new to us. I mean, we've always had a couple, but to be real honest, our founding fathers were really hopeful that if they did this, there wouldn't be a need in a few years. Well, obviously that has evolved, and there is a great need on different levels. So yes, so any way we can get it.
Well, fortunately, the founding fathers did have the vision to bring you guys to fruition. And I would say, while the need maybe hasn't gone away, sounds like, we've done some improvement. Richmond's not where it once was, down in the, low rankings, and has better graduation percentages and things like that. So there has been, it sounds like, a real impact that your organization has had on our community. So thank you for that.
Well, thank you very much, and we'll keep working at it.
Well, we need you to, so please do so. All right. Well, with that, I want to thank you, Kim English, for joining us, the Executive Director for Every Child Can Read, that has K-Ready, the Reading Academy, Dolly Parton Imagination Library. Reach out to Kim and the team if you're interested, you want to volunteer, or looking for services. Thank you so much for joining me today, and for all the tremendous great work that your organization does for our community. And when we come back, Pavel from Amigos is going to join me. Stay tuned. Welcome back. Pavel has joined me to talk about Amigos. Hello, Pavel.
How are you?
I'm great. Thank you so much for Zooming in with us. And actually Zooming in with us from Washington, D.C. today. So thank you.
Yep. Yeah, you're welcome. Thank you.
Pavel, tell us about Amigos. When did Amigos get started? How did it get started, and to how it is where it is today as an organization?
Yeah, sure. It was in 1999, and it was Howard and Patty Lamson. They saw a need, and they used to teach at Erlang back then. So they saw a need in the community, and it was to support the new Latinos that were coming into the Richmond area. So they began programs like the English program. That was the first program that Amigos ever had. It was 22 years ago, over 22 years ago. And, after 22 years later, now with a new transformation of Amigos and with a focus on education for the Latinx youth and also health and social services for the Latino families and a great staff and board, we're able to carry resources and just support the Latino community to the max.
So tell me a little bit about what the vision and the mission of Amigos is.
Yeah, well, the mission is, it has been to empower the Latinx community and to engage actively in Wayne County, Richmond, Indiana, and to learn the cooperation and respect, to learn that from different cultures. So that's our basis for everything, is to create cultural connections in general.
That's wonderful. What are some of the goals that Amigos has for maybe the next year?
Well, continuing our programs. We got, especially expanding on the Latinx leadership program that we have. This coming year, we're going to have that program test dentists and also at the high school. And each school is going to meet twice a week, bringing the students social emotional learning, college and career preparation, as well as English classes. So that's one of our big goals this coming year. Because currently we're like in one, expanding in two. So we were in one for many years. Now we got two schools. Instead of once a week, one school, we got three schools, twice a week on each one of those.
Right. So being able to grow and serve more people certainly is, reach more of your community, more of the community that you're trying to serve.
Well, we have new people coming in basically every week. Mm-hmm. So, with the English classes, we have been innovators on that end. So we use the WhatsApp app to teach them. We have volunteers teaching people and, on their phone, like you and I are talking right now, So to be a WhatsApp FaceTime and all this stuff. Now, that is for our basic needs program that we began during COVID. We're working with the Dwyer Center and the trustee's office as well, providing not only a diaper distribution and also gateway, with food distribution. The diaper distribution is going really well. There's tons of Latino moms that they are in need of diapers. And on top of that, toy distribution as well, for, during the holidays for the Latino kids, because we wanted to make sure that every Latino youth has a toy underneath the tree. So those are goals moving forward as well.
Right. Right. And that's all. Those are all really important things that folks in the community need, and they're wonderful services that you guys are bringing to people, meeting meeting those that you're serving where they're at, and doing it through collaboration with other organizations in the community. I think it's really, look, there's power in numbers, right? There's a reason why if you can, combine and bring forces together, you can, I think, make a greater impact and difference.
That's right. That's correct. I mean, that's why Richmond is so amazing, because everybody works together. Everybody helps each other. People from different organizations coming up with new ideas. We have a fantastic United Way there that helps everybody as well.
Thank you.
So it's an amazing place for sure.
Yeah, it is. So what would happen if in this community, if Amigos didn't exist?
Thanks for asking that question, because that's a question that I always ask my staff. I say, can you imagine, these 200 families, what would they have done if we weren't up in here? With all the limitations they have, with the language barrier, a little bit of fear because they don't speak the language, They cannot go somewhere and connect. They don't know the U.S. resources and how their life can be better. Their education for their kids. I mean, that's why we added this basic needs program, because for us to be able to educate the kids, we need to feed the families, and we need to make sure that the families are being taken care of. Otherwise, education is not going to be the priority.
Yeah.
So, but that's a question. Honestly, at least once or twice a week, I'm talking to the staff. Can you imagine every time something good happens? Can you imagine if Amigos would have not been here for the Latino families?
Right. Well, speaking of your staff, tell us a little bit about, the folks that work and do the day-to-day and run and that you work with when you talk about your staff. How are you guys organized?
Amazing. I have a dream team, that's for sure. From the board to the staff, I do have a dream team. Carrie, she is the resource development specialist. She's in charge of the grants. We write them together, we check them out, the reports. I mean, you name it. I mean, she does everything above and beyond. For the basic needs program, we have our community engagement coordinator, which is Yvonne, and she connects family to resources. She's in charge of the toy drive, food boxes, diapers, connecting them, even to the legal and health systems. She's in charge of that. We have Kelsey Sigmund, and she is one of our Latinx leadership program coordinators. Okay. She's fantastic. We also have Dolca Demote, and she's also a Latinx leadership program coordinator. And she's going to begin with us here shortly. And also we have someone that we work with, want to make sure that everything is set with people that know when it comes to money. So we do have a CPA through Kemper CPA. So Liz is amazing. She takes care of all of that stuff. And we have also the two founders that are with us day in and day out. Patty Lamson, which I speak to her probably 2 to 4 hours a day, including weekends. And also Howard Lamson. Yeah. And we have a fantastic board. So that's my dream team in there.
Well, it's that dream team's helping you guys all collectively do some tremendous work in this community. So we're happy you have such a wonderful team, and it's nice to have good people around you. So we have a few minutes left in our time here. Tell us about how do you guys raise money? How do you fund the work that you do?
Okay, yeah. We do it in different ways. We do apply for a lot of grants. Mm-hmm. That's our, bread and butter too. But we have sponsors, We apply grants, from, we got great people like the Cushline Foundation. They help us out quite a bit. United Way, they help us out quite a bit. And the matching grant through the Wayne County Foundation, which is amazing too. They help us out. And then we apply for individual grants we work closely with the USTA, Tennis Association, in Indianapolis. And they apply for, that's one of our programs, the tennis program. So we get grants from them. We have the Latinx Leadership Program. We get grants for that. We have the Basic Needs Program. We get help, from people. And we have an amazing volunteer, spreadsheet that is just incredible. And then we have the English classes, right? So another thing is we have 2 different events a year. One is in the spring, and we highlight a different Latin country every year when it comes to food, culture, and also, just the culture. I mean, the food, culture, music completely. So we do that. It's sold out every year. And also we have the Richmond International Food Festival in September. And that, that raises some money as well. So, and wonderful people from Richmond, Indiana, and other places that always send us a check or two in the mail.
You got to have those. You got to have those because, things don't come for, it's hard to get free and the costs are high for much of what, it takes to do the work that you guys do. So while we've been chatting, we have put up some graphics with your website address as well as your phone number. You mentioned you have a great spreadsheet of volunteers in our last couple of minutes here. Tell us if people want to either know more or volunteer, reach out regarding services, any of the things that you've listed that are available and the work that you guys do. What's the best way for people to do that?
But there are different ways. They can go to our website, amigosLatinoCenter.org, which is there. We do have a phone number, 765-965-5843, or even Facebook.
Yeah.
Amigos, the Richmond Latino Center, or Instagram. I think it's Amigos_Richmond. So they, just come and find us, and we'll work with you. That's for sure.
Well, thank you very much. We appreciate that. Any final thoughts that you want to share with the audience about Amigos or anything that's upcoming in the next few months to pay attention for?
I mean, we always have our annual dinner coming up, or the Richmond International Food Festival, and everything is online. And just, come and try the food at one of those events, or the music. Or you don't have to wait for those events. Go to a different restaurant and try food that you never tried before, or listen to music that you never listened before. Expand your horizons. Let's get outside of the menu we're used to, right? So
right.
that's part of the culture of within us. That's what I do.
Yeah.
That's what I'm going to do. Coming up in here, Tamara. I'm going to Portugal and Spain. So that's the first thing. I go out and try the food, listen to the music, talk to the locals.
Right.
Yeah.
Keep that ear to the ground.
Yeah.
Keep that ear to the ground. Well, Pavel, thank you. As we wrap up this episode of The Third Sector, I'd like to thank my guests, Kim English from Every Child Can Read and Pavel from Amigos Richmond Latino Center. Thank you so much for joining me today and sharing with the community the great work that they do.